Hey guys, this is Julie, J Trading Strategies, and I'm going to give you a quick primer in standard deviation. I know a lot of you already know this stuff, but just to make sure you understand why I created the profit target indicator for NinjaTrader 8 and how to use it so that you trust it as you would any of your other indicators, RSI or stochastics. So basically it's premised on a Gaussian curve or a normal distribution curve, bell curve, and you get your 3 deviations of the bell curve. I kind of modify this for my profit target opportunities. I actually take half of that bell curve for my profit target 1. Let me get the pen out so that you can see it. So profit target 1 is half of the bell curve. Profit target 2 is the 68%. And then profit target 3 is actually the 2% of the bell curve. So my 1, 2, and 3 is really set up for day trading. So I take half the distribution for 1, the full 1 deviation is my profit target 2, and the second deviation is my profit target 3. I just ignore the other one. It's, for my, horseshoes and trading, close is close enough. I just stick with this one. By the time I get there, I'm looking for that reversal. So I'm already looking for the reversal here to come back in or get lucky and go all the way around for a coast to coast. So that is your primer in normal distribution and how I use it for my indicator. And this is on a standard period that you can select yourself. So if you want to put it on a 20 period, you can change the period. You're not stuck to a standard 14. Feel free to change it. Also, you can change it from using the bar open or close. I use it on the bar open on a custom time period, and I'll show you how I do that in just a moment. But for normal purposes, the first thing you want to know is that in this indicator, I have it in 2 different parts. So if you open my folder, you will see that the profit target indicator is now V2 and 3. So there's 2 different parts to this, a little bit complicated. So the first one you want to put on your chart is that V2.0. And it's going to default to use time ranges. Just unclick it. And don't put anything on there and just hit OK. And you will get this bottom oscillator, okay? And I wanted to point out the slope for you real quick. I use this in my trading strategies now using the slope of that range. So you can see that when you are going long, you can use the high and the low of that slope. But what is infuriating for me until I got my indicator created and then I could see it when, let me put this on no logic so you can see it first. When price contracts or flattens out is when price rallies in the equity indexes. Price, the range is happy, it's content, the ranges are normal, price will rally. Price relaxes, contracts, price rallies. In the equity index, when the price or the range expands, range expands, range expands, range expands, that's when the price falls, okay? And so you need to know whether you're contracting or expanding on the daily, because that's basically how you're going to operate intra-time periods, right? So right now our range is still contracting and flat, and our momentum is going in, and we're above zero, but you can see that it was trying to roll over and it got back underneath the 4, but it's still rallying up on this contracting range. So until further notice, until we get a spike up in the range, so the range spikes up, that means that that price is likely to turn around and fall. And again, I've separated out. You can see the high longs. That's on upward expansion, and price starts turning around. And the low longs, that's where it's very contracted and the price rallies. And so now I've got them high, low, long. You can put the highs and the lows together to get, if you just want to go long, this is your template. Right now you see that there's no signal. There's not a long signal or a short signal. So let me put it on high, low, short. So there's actually, we're in a void of a signal, which is very interesting. So there's no logic today for the range. So it's in a location, you would say, is it near a location where it would be turning around? So let's look to see on the bell curve. So we'll put the 3.0 indicator up, and there's two different parts to it. You can have the, you can put in a custom session on an intraday time period up here, or you can use, since I have a daily bar, I want to put a weekly chart up. We'll start with a monthly 4 weeks, and then we'll go down to 3 weeks. So, okay, so now we see why we stalled out. We were hitting the PT3 or 2 line, PT2 on the weekly, the monthly data. So that's why it sort of stalled out. If we keep pushing, there's our monthly target. So this is really good for options, right? Can y'all see this? If you're trading options and you're in a big range, upward trend, where would be the best place to turn the boat around would be below the low PT1. So, or on the upper ranges coming back in. So let's change this to a weekly with 1 week data instead of a month, and see what 1 week looks like. And here we go. We can see that we're almost there to our target, 31.2075. So it's getting very close to the target. And as you can see from historical touches, that it gets to this target and it will pull back in. Doesn't mean that it's turning over, it just means that it's pulling back in. So it can break the range, and that's where you get your thrust. And where does it go? It goes to the 2 or the 3. Right? See that? Comes back in, goes up. So this is very, very helpful. You can set them up for, monthly, weekly, and an intraday. So let me put this down on a lower time frame, like a 60-minute chart, and then you can see your weekly or daily levels. Let me put it on a daily level. So there's your 60-minute chart. Let's put this on a daily one. There we go. Same thing, same principles, okay? So we know we have our location of where those where the algos send this on those standard deviations. And we can, when the price is all bullish, we know where the target is, and so we can set the target either for the daily, or I like to use the intraday targets because I'm a day trader, right? So I'll put this on 1515 for my intraday time period, and that would give me a different target level than the daily target. Oh, I didn't choose it. I'm sorry. That's why it didn't change. There we go. There it is. There's the difference. So the goal of this is to get a line that we can hit. So you may want to choose your RTH session versus the daily. So we just hit our target again. So it's either going to go up to that third level or it's going to turn around. And it looks like it's going to be trying to reach that third level. So same concept, get real excited in an uptrend when it gets below the lower PT1 and look for those reversals. Otherwise, just trade directionally. Again, since we were looking for longs, we would go the high-low long. We just want to go long, generally float in that direction when we get the lower time frame. Getting us in that, when you, oh, I'm sorry, if you go to the right or scroll your chart over and the line starts compressing, that just means you need to add more data. So put more days on here and that'll correct that. It just needed more days to calculate. Okay. So very exciting. Use those daily RTH settings, and then this works even, say you just trade the morning session. You don't trade all the way to the end of the day, and you just want to see a 3-hour morning time frame. It works exactly the same way, and it will give you your target locations exactly the same as it does on the other time frame. So you can see that we what we need to do, we don't have any lines here. We've jumped out of the level. Just displace my lines a little bit so I can get a continuation of it. And you can see that we're trading above PT3 on that custom time period. So price has really taken off this morning, and for those, I'm sorry, I apologize. Wait one moment for me. This needs to be going on the open. When I did my custom time period, I forgot to calculate it off the bar open instead of that prior close. That makes a huge difference. As you can see, a huge difference. So that second PT level wasn't as drastic as it had been from that prior close. Current open. And here is the level right here. Let me undo the displacement. There we go. There's our levels right there. Big difference. So there's our current levels. That was yesterday, and here's today. So it makes a great path for you for a block of time. So if you trade the Asia session or you trade the Globex or the London session, or whatever, if you trade just the afternoon close, you may want to see what that 2 or 3 hour window looks like on that custom time period. And that way you know where you are and where those levels are. So right now we're still inside the range going up to the PT1. So we're going to hit the PT1 in just a few seconds. And then, so this is all the name of the game. It's targets to trade to. And then you can put on your chart various other levels like your prior day open, high, low, close. Throw a few pivot lines on it. Oops, pivot. Change that to intraday. I don't know what that is. Get that off the chart. And then if you want your profile levels, or your VWAP, the more levels you want, what you're looking for are correlations. So you're looking for correlations with your standard deviation lines with another level that other traders would be trading to. So we see that our R2s are sitting right there, and we hit our PT1, R2. That may signal a reversal. So I'm not sure. Right now it looks pretty bullish. I wouldn't be discounting those higher levels getting hit. But that's about it in a nutshell. Use it with your other levels. I think it would make a great additional tool for option traders as well as day traders or swing traders. And you can use the slope of the indicator and have targets to trade to, and then put your own logic on it. So if I want to go long or short, I can add linear regression to this and just go in, like right now I'm getting a signal to go long. Just go in when your signals hit. Let me put this down on a 2-minute chart and show you how well this works on an intraday period with your own logic added to it. Okay. So Love Bloodhound, new PT indicator giving me targets to trade to. Now I know where I'm going, and tie that in with other support resistance levels, and you have a good trade plan. So thank you so much. Hope you understand it. Come in the trade room, and we will help you get set up and get going with it. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.